Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Geek with me, where we are concluding our coverage of Peacemaker Season 2 with episodes 7 and 8, like a Keith in the Night. And, what was the finale called? I just
Full
had
Nelson.
it. Oh, Full Nelson, that's right. Full Nelson, that's right. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. Clearly, I'm the irresponsible one. What's up, buddy?
What up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Peacemaker Season 2 going out on quite the note. We obviously had been marketed as being the lead into the next Superman movie. James Gunn ended up kind of saying that during the run of Peacemaker. It wasn't really strictly marketed that way, but kind of came to fruition as the show was happening. And man, gotta say, it's a really exciting piece of the puzzle for what the future of the DCU looks like. How are you feeling?
Yeah, and that is my main thoughts. Is afterwards I'm thinking, okay, what is coming next? What does this mean for the DCU? And I think I'm more there because I'm not fully satisfied with the season that we got or the finale. But as far as the DCU is concerned, like Checkmate, their company, the counter to Argus, like that's fucking sick. And then this, dynamic of how the hell are we gonna save these people? Is I'm actually trying to. Is it as easy as just grabbing the portal for them? I don't know. But like, how is Superman? Yeah, is it Superman? Is that what the movie is concerned with completely? It seems like it, or is this another? I don't know. Can someone else solve this problem?
Superman did go through. I think Superman's empathy will lead him to the point where he feels like he has to do something about it because he has been through it in a different way.
Oh wait, yeah, because they closed the rift, but every single one of those prisoners that he saw is still there. Not like the current.
Them. They saved all of those. Yeah. That's part of the end of the movie. But that's why I'm like, if they're doing this and it's like officially government sanctioned and they are just literally on the basis of you are a metahuman, which is what they're going to go towards. It's not just going to be, oh, you're an evil metahuman. It might start like that, and then it will inevitably take on a different tone. Oh, you're an illegal immigrant. Oh, you're a person of color. Oh, you disagree with what I say, etc.
Do you think Superman gets shut off first? He's sent to what they call it. There's a name for it. Frick.
Yes.
Serenity?
Yes.
Is it Serenity? It's something.
No.
That didn't feel right.
It's based in comics too. Is it Sovereignty?
Oh my, Sovereignty. Yes, that sounds a lot better. I felt like it was an S word, but yeah. Do you think Superman gets sent to Sovereignty, or that he has to find his way there to save everybody?
It's salvation. Salvation.
Okay, that hit even more. There we go. Now it landed. Salvation. Yes. And then it doesn't sound like a punishment. He's like, I don't give a fuck. At least they're gone. But why did it matter? That was like my kind of weird thing, is like, if the goal is just to ship these people off and forget about them and they can never return, why does it matter what door you're sending them through?
Dude.
And I feel like there might just be more to Rick Flag Sr. than his, I don't know.
You're back. Sorry. I was gone for a second. I skipped.
There we are. But yeah, I was just saying like how if the goal is just to ship these people off and to not have them return ever to Earth, why did it matter that it had to be a planet that somewhat resembled Earth, or like that was, we know that
it's for the sake of being able to sustain them. It's not strictly it's a breathable atmosphere. It is. I guess there had to have been other livable planets. I think they were looking for one that was empty, though. Was the ideal.
That's true. Yeah. I guess because you can't really put this plan into action if you're just sending people to die immediately. If you're sending them to die and just that makes sense. But I guess we know that there's big monster, or it's not like an Earth-like planet, I guess. With I don't know
Screeching, how we've got we got some sort of gods and monsters again, going back to that larger DCU title for the first chapter being gods and monsters. Every once in a while, I take a step back and remember that that's the title of the first chapter of the DCU, and given that we've gotten Creature Commandos, we've gotten Superman, and we've gotten this, the monsters well represented with Creature Commandos, given, Frankenstein's monster and all that good stuff, and, the creatures at large. The gods with Superman and, that sort of vein. But now it looks like we're heading back towards monsters here with Peacemaker. And I'm really, really into it. I'm excited for the direction. I do agree that the finale itself, it felt easy to me. It felt like we built up a lot of really, really compelling stakes. And then they were all so easily placed about. And I'm glad. The one thing that I was really, really concerned with, that I'm actually pretty satisfied with, is that Rick Flag getting his revenge on Peacemaker fell by the wayside for the entire episode. And I was like, when's he going to get him? When's that going to be the focus again? And I'm glad that is the conclusion. I'm glad that ends up being his get back. But in order to do it, in one episode, I feel like they sacrificed Flag's characterization up to this point, which is really, really interesting.
When he went revenge mode, when he
he's been revenge mode. I'm talking Creature Commandos, Superman leading into this. There is an empathy he possesses that clearly extends to metahumans. There's a moment at the end of Superman whenever the guy who is actually kind of opposed to planet salvation is like, I hope you're ready for this. Metahumans determine global politics now. And Rick Flag Sr. kind of smiles at the end of Superman. It's kind of maybe that moment reads different on the other side of this. But clearly after Creature Commandos, he's got buddies who are metahumans. I don't know if just he got into the wrong crowd here with Luthor Corps, and now he's homies with all of them, so all of a sudden he don't give a fuck.
Did he see this as a power grab of oh shit, look at what Luthor did with his prison. If I can somehow market this to the government, and get this to be a for real thing, then I'll be, I don't. Is that the play?
He
or
could have. It could be the thing is that his motives seem to have evolved, and in an unclear capacity, because what was driving him this season was get back.
Yes.
Get Peacemaker, and this seemed to be the way to do that. But it's clearly become something more for him. He actually wants to do it. It's a he talks about how in that meeting, in that room, that briefing room, he talks about how this is the key, we've been worried about this and that, but he never seemed worried about it, which is why I'm I don't know if it's just he's got Lex in his ear and it's a little bit of a dangerous character to have in a position of power who is so susceptible to the influence of Luthor. But that's Rick Flag had just seemed so he seemed like he had integrity, and that seems like it's gone really far out of the way now. And I don't really and his quote unquote girlfriend, as it were. The whole finale is just really fast. It's a lot that changes very quickly for a lot of characters. My thoughts at the end of episode 7 weren't oh, she's going to team up with the Peacemaker crew. That feels like a natural direction for her arc. And don't get me wrong, I'm not dissatisfied with that. I do like that choice. Especially given the events of the last episode. It's Argus isn't doing what you thought they were going to do. They build up with Harcourt and Economos whenever he's when have we ever been the good guys? When has what we do ever been for the good of the people?
Yeah. Good. A lot of good lines like that, actually.
Tons. And that's why I'm generally well done. I just have a little bit of a beef with the pacing of the last episode.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think it's kind of undoubtable now that Rick Flag Sr. just kind of is the main character. I mean,
right?
It's like he is the absolute crux of what's going on, and I feel like maybe there is a missing piece of the puzzle. It could be as simple as like he has Lex in his ear. He even says like he's the smartest man on the planet. Why wouldn't we use his talents or blah blah blah?
And that's
and
but I fear he's falling victim. He's falling victim to the brain that is bigger than his a little bit.
Yeah, but I wonder. It feels like you're right about like he did have sort of like he's turning a new leaf on metahumans, and not why is it so like now that he just wants to ship everyone out. I wonder if it's like he's playing the humans to act like he wants to just ship everyone out, but he's actually like Magneto making his own little island of mutants sort of thing, and giving them like an actual sovereignty, like actual
an actual safe place.
Salvation. Yeah, I fucked up. Okay, yeah. But it doesn't putting Peacemaker there. I mean, he gets his revenge. He is gone. He's actually there. Whatever. It feels
and they do
that
need to test it. They do need to test it. That's like,
yeah, it actually just kind of works out really well for him there.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm like, I am really satisfied with as far as emotional beats, what I wanted to happen for these characters. It all kind of happens, Mm-hmm. I said a couple weeks ago in our last episode where I was like, when we're looking at Chris Smith, does this feel like a character where things end hunky-dory for him? So when things are feeling good and the theme song's playing and everyone's dancing and having fun and it's like, you're waiting. I'm waiting for a fucking gun to be fired and a hole to appear in someone's head. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of tension they're building. And then whenever he just gets black bagged, it is a good choice. Like, that is a good way to end the season. It's just a really coming off of this Nazi planet, which episode 7's full of a lot of crazy stuff that we have not even touched on,
true.
Which is,
the good part of this end, like they're actually like episode 7 was so good, like, and
incredible.
And it made me think the finale was going to absolutely just fucking, ball out on a different level. But yeah, getting, the actual, like, Augie's not for real a Nazi there, like he has his speech where he, comes out at the end and says whatever, and I don't know about it,
it's
but like
centrist bullshit. Like,
seeing Vigilante just freaking, I mean, like, I mean, my jaw was wide open. Like, I was
incredible.
Just like, holy fuck. Yeah. But yeah, this. Episode I feel like need to focus on episode 7 for a little bit, because there's a lot of really cool.
There's a lot of great stuff. I love the building up of Judo Master and Adebayo. I love that kind of relationship sparking, that friendship. Yeah, the little game of Scrabble or whatever.
What, like, not white, gay. He listed off a couple things or whatever, and he's like, all things that I am, by the way, or something like that. Like, Judo Master confirmed gay, which was kind of cool. Was that known before, or was that like? I
mean, I guess if you have a gaydar, yeah.
I mean, it was. I don't know. I never thought of him. I never
as
thought
a sexual
of him as a sexual man. Yeah, no, not at all. So it just didn't even cross my mind. But then, like, now that he, his voice, I guess it's there's the zest. He's got a little.
Well, that was the thing, is I've always been compelled by, or not compelled, but intrigued by, the assigning of he/him pronouns to Judo Master that the show uses, and that and even he uses eventually, because he always presented a little androgynous to me, as far as, like, I couldn't tell if he was a man or a woman, and I didn't assume. And the show is insistent on he/him, so I'll abide by it until otherwise. But yeah, I mean, like, whenever the first time in season 1 they were like, this little fucking guy, I was like, are we so sure? Are we so sure this is a little fucking guy? No, but yeah, it's I'm really enjoying the evolution of that character. I'm really enjoying the I mean, Adebayo continues to be probably the best character in this show.
My God. Like her own little revolution, and then like her like finally like breaking up for good with her girlfriend. Like, holy shit,
Great
was
moment.
I bawling my eyes out? Like, I'm
moment.
like, oh my God, yeah. So like that, like her scene with Judo Master was great. Like them kind of opening up to each other, and then that scene was incredible. Like, I mean, like the episode. Was that all in episode 7? Or was wow, that's kind of
no. Her scene with her girlfriend was in the finale.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
her ex-girlfriend.
So
she also has a great moment with Chris. I believe it is in the thing is that the finale is so fucking loaded. So much happens, and all of it happens so fast. The moment whenever they're convincing Chris. You know, like, or not convincing Chris, but talking to him and being like, you went to that fucking, and Adebayo's steadfast faith in Chris being like, when Judo Master's like, this is Peacemaker's perfect fucking world, and her being like, yeah, he just couldn't have known, you know, like, I know Chris, he's just too stupid to realize, you know, like that's all. He's a fucking idiot, but I love him to death. And her saying as much to him, being like, you're stupid as fuck, but I love you and you are a great guy. And whenever you touch people, man, you know, like whenever she says that, she's like, you connect with people when you are you. Everything you do, all this shit you're talking about, where you caused this and you did this, it's you trying to do something, trying to be something you're not. And that kind of, you know, you were listening to Waller, you were listening, exactly. You were listening to your dad, you were doing something, just do it for you. And when you do, people like you and people gravitate toward you. You have a way. And I love that. I mean, I've talked about this a couple times throughout this show. When the Suicide Squad spinoff announced was Peacemaker, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, like I doubted hard. And the fact that they've created such a compelling character piece around a character as minute and originally despicable as Peacemaker is incredible. I really love what they've done with it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, very good signs for what the DCU will bring. Because, like, if, say we get, I don't know, a Superman TV show, I feel like there's a lot more effort put into that one. Or, like, do you think he directs the bigger shows? Or is he going to let other people take the helm?
And that's the thing, is when it comes to quote-unquote bigger characters, I think what we're in for is movies, you know? When it comes to shows, what I really love about the potential for this DCU is utilizing the sort of A-tier characters and A-tier teams for the screen, the big screen. I don't know, we're getting to Clayface is the next fucking movie we've got, so maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I mean, we're in the very early stages, you know.
Exactly.
We're very early on.
When we're utilizing the B, C, D tier characters, the way James Gunn loves to do, by the way, you know, he made Guardians of the fucking Galaxy, a household name, which was non-existent practically prior to him.
True.
I look forward to seeing. You know, we've got Lanterns. Lanterns is coming in 2026. That's a lock. We got Waller coming. That is a lock. That is a TV show that is happening. And these are both shows that he is not doing. You know, like, he's involved, obviously. He's consulting. He's a producer. He is the creative director of the DCU. But the fact that he is willing to hand the reins over to other creatives and go, you got this. You know, like Mike Flanagan doing the Clayface movie. That's an incredible choice. Mike Flanagan has done an incredible job with a bunch of horror stuff on Netflix. He did Doctor Sleep a few years ago, the sequel to The Shining. He's an incredible horror director, and just going, here's a fucking Clayface movie, man. Like, you brought me the script. I dug it. Let's do this shit. That rules. And I'm also like, we don't know anything about that yet. It's filming. It's coming out next year. Is that just an Elseworlds film, or is it this universe's Clayface? We have no fucking idea. And I love how open it is right now. And the fact that the first 3 things we've gotten are Creature Commandos, a Superman movie, and the second season of a Peacemaker TV show is really like, imagine being like, 10 years ago, being like, we're actually going to rebuild the DCU from the ground up. Okay. And that's our lineup. That's our first 3 heavy hitters.
That's actually wild.
Creature Commandos and a season of Peacemaker. Yeah, a Superman movie. You know, that's a big one. That's a huge one. And you have to have a big swing like that in order for it to be the reboot of a universe. But
wow.
I just love the possibility.
Sign off on that. Yeah, they're like the business people. Like it's always the business people that feels like the last check off that like it shouldn't have to go through them, but they somehow were like, no, dude, go for it. And I like that's awesome. And maybe, you know, we like to say the gun don't jam over here, and I don't think it jammed on the finale. I think it still fired, but it was just the wrong caliber bullet. You know, it just wasn't quite up to full spec. And if
instead of hitting the fucking bullseyes, hitting the outer edge of the fucking targeting board, you know, like that's all.
Maybe the biggest gripe that I have against James Gunn is when he just directed a television episode. I don't know. Like, I think he's much better at movies whenever it's like, and maybe this is a cinematography thing. I'm not sure. It's just a whole different ball game from TV to movies. I don't know.
It is. But it's a different production method too. Like, there's a lot of different.
It not that it felt lazy. It just like it felt bare
simple.
Minimum, I guess. Like they never tried to really do anything too crazy, and even moments when it became slow and supposed to be cinematic, like hardcore and Peacemaker on the boat. Finally, you know, it's like I don't know.
Also, the reveal that the moment was a kiss and not them drunkenly having sex.
Yeah, I thought they
actually.
Fucked.
No, but that's great. Yeah. I love how how intimate they portray a kiss versus you know, the casual sex that Chris is known to have. I really enjoy that. I love that. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that I've generally I love James Gunn. And I think he is an incredible, I mean, he's proven himself time and time again as an incredible comic book movie filmmaker. And I think he's got some unabashed highlights as far as a director of comic book sequences. I've never viewed him as one of our best working directors. I view him as one of the best comic book movie directors. And that's always in a setting where he also wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Where I would love to see a movie that he wrote in someone else's hands. I would adore seeing something like that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is something we might be getting. I mean, Supergirl is being co-penned by a few people, including the original writer of Woman of Tomorrow, the comic book.
That's
but
good.
Very, very cool. But that's why I am very curious about what James Gunn can't take on that much.
Yeah, that's true. Kevin Feige's not directing any of these movies, you know, like any of. So it's like at some point, I don't know, maybe this thing gets so big that like he just actually can't direct anything, or but it seems that the world is just so different. He's not a Kevin Feige at all. Like he is a director at the helm, and I think. I don't know. They chose him obviously for a reason. His track record is very good in the comic book world, and yeah, he's firing right now. And as the DCU is concerned, like I'm in very very like I'm very comfy. I have no worries. Like I love where the story's going. It was just kind of Peacemaker in a capsule by itself was a little. Was let down, I think, just to boost the DCU kind of building that had to happen. So it was like kind of maybe just a give and take that had to happen. But I don't know, had moments where I cried. I got up and actually danced whenever the title song came on, like in the show.
It did make me cry. Like the finale got one of the moments, and I've got to give some mad fucking props. Not only to James Gunn as a writer, Peacemaker. puts on display his ability as a writer more than it does a director. 100%. The moment in the finale, whenever Eagly hugs Economos, is one of the best performed moments I've ever seen in this show. By Steve Agee. There's this look of, I don't know. It made me cry. Like the way that he reacted to Eagly's affection got me. And it was so simple. It was such a small little look. And it was like, hold the fucking phone. This guy's got it. Because we've seen that before. But it's always followed up by like a undermining of the character. Like you are still Economos. You're a punching bag. That is what we're going to do to you.
No, that was
but this one,
for him.
I loved that. Yeah. And the fact that whenever Peacemaker is locked up, he's looking for Eagly. He still wants to take care of Eagly. And even though he has been the one that's been like, fuck Eagly. And then he finds him in the cupboard
closet.
and like,
oh man, yeah, he was so depressed. And yeah, that little, like they're on the same page, I guess. Is like what it, like they were already kind of on the same page, but like Eagly, he's very touchy on who he lets in on his circle.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, no, that was nice. And yeah, the like facial acting, that no words, that was just kind of,
it was an incredible reaction. Yeah. Like it was, and especially given that obviously there's not an eagle hugging him. Like there's
what is actually there. Wait,
I have no idea.
Is it
a fucking
Bradley
tennis ball,
Baker?
probably.
Yes, it's
probably just a little tennis ball on a stick.
I love to think that D. Bradley Baker's somewhere on set. He's like he's just somewhere hanging out, making screeches or something. Yeah, but another facial acting moment that I loved was like the very end, whenever Rick Flag seals the door off on Peacemaker, and like he finally did it. Everything he set out to do, he's done it. But he has this like, oh fuck, this kind of like, wait.
I've sold my soul for this.
Yeah, and then but he locks back in, and he's like, no, I'm back. And just very slight, and like that was, I mean, I feel like that's a. Whether it was Frank Grillo, just doing his thing, I feel like that's James Gunn. Like that's I give both props to the actor and James Gunn there. Like I think he just gets what these characters are going through and what they're all building towards, and yeah, the fact that Economos can have a moment like that, like and he's such a, like, I'm trying to, what's the equivalent of the Economos in the MCU? Is someone who's in SHIELD, that's just kind of a. Yeah,
like as far as like a punching bag, like as long term as Economos Economos has been in 2 seasons of television and a movie because he was in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they're all making.
And I'm pretty sure he might have been in Black Adam. I'm not sure about that. Don't mark my words on that.
Possibly, yeah.
I know Harcourt was, but I can't remember if he was
the real main character of the DCU. Yeah. John Economos, and Harcourt,
and I really, because one of the things that I really wish the MCU would have gotten a grip on a lot earlier was the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, that show was supposed to be canon to the MCU, and then it got, and it was a different era of television. We're talking about 22 episodes, network drama. Like, it's a different thing. Incredible for a few seasons, and it still has its moments even towards the end, but it obviously loses touch with continuity. Like, it stops giving a fuck. There's no more, like, it's TV rights versus movie rights. They went, it's fucking easier to just do our own goddamn thing and forget about it. But like Philip Coulson, who was the guy who got killed in the Avengers by Loki, is one of the main characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's why it's like, that is kind of what they're doing with Peacemaker and Checkmate and Argus right now, is they're building that up in this subtle way, and it is going to come to fruition in a really compelling way come the next Superman movie.
Yeah, if you didn't know this show was called Peacemaker and you watched it, you might think it's like Agents of Argus or like and kind of perfect. Like why I feel like Peacemaker markets so much better, or like, just a comic book character. It just markets so much better. But really, the show, we do have a character piece on Peacemaker, and he is the focus of what it's going through. But
they're all really, extremely well explored. Harcourt is becoming one of the most interesting characters. Adebayo is obviously, like, when it comes to Harcourt, Economos, Adebayo, Vigilante, like, that's a fucking squad right there. That's an incredible slate of characters.
Yeah. Tim Meadows, thank God he joined the fucking team.
Flurry.
Oh my God.
Flurry.
He went off these last couple titties.
He did.
Oh my, he threw up on a stripper, dude. Like, oh my, he's so, like, every
titties,
time he talks.
Pull us out. Harcourt yelling that fucking kills me.
Oh man. And yeah, I loved the showing the hierarchy of Argus and being like, hey, look at all these people dying and look at them just celebrating in the room where they're untouchable and nothing can happen to them and like they're just.
Well, that's what's so interesting about the portrayal of Rick Flag. I mean,
you're right, man. It is a kind of a 180. Like it is.
It's a big time 180.
Man.
And maybe I need to rewatch Creature Commandos, but I've watched Superman 3 fucking times. Okay, like. That character, and there's not a lot in Superman to go on with Rick Flag, of course. Maybe on the other side of this, there is a little bit of a recontextualization, but he never seems apathetic to Superman.
Yeah.
He feels like it feels like he's surrendered to the system a little bit. Like there's kind of in the way that Augie describes in episode 7. Maybe that is what they're kind of trying to get at, is that there's only so much he feels. There's only so much he can do. Have you tried to battle every injustice on your world? Have you done this? Have you done that? Yeah. Which from a superhero is horseshit, by the way. But neither here nor there. Because the show treats it as neither here nor there, which was interesting. But they handled that about as cleanly as they could have, though. By the way,
I didn't even think of. We were like, so how are they going to deal with the camps that all of the minorities are being sent to, and all of this stuff? And it's
that was how being like, they can't.
Well, have you done it on your world? Checkmate. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, kind of I get, that maybe way easier. And thank God they didn't open up, with 2 episodes left. It's like if they wanted to.
No, and that was exactly the concern. Was like it and that was, and I think they managed it. I'm not disappointed with the actions they took on that. Like, it's their, this isn't their story. Like that the point of them going there is literally to pull him back into their story, not this other one.
Yeah. And to show that he didn't notice.
Trenton is texting us some really funny stuff about The Shining right now. I don't know if you're keeping up with it. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt because it's popping up on my Mac. Our friend Trenton, who just got married over this weekend, by the way, congratulations to the boy.
Yes.
He's actually been on one episode of the podcast. It was for Thor: Love and Thunder, which he deemed his favorite MCU movie of all time, just to give you a little vibe on the kind of thing Trenton is into.
Fuck yeah.
Got married over the weekend. We had a great time at his wedding. Him and his wife are watching The Shining for the first time right now, and we're getting basically a live tweet of it right now with him hitting us up. He just said, this guy should try falling asleep, which is fucking hysterical. I bet he never thought of that. All work and no play makes Jack a dull fucking boy now, don't it?
I didn't think of him just falling asleep. It didn't run my, I don't.
Valid. I mean, it's a good critique. He should go to sleep. Maybe that would help.
Jack, what are you doing?
The sleep deprivation can't be helping.
That's actually the paranormal.
I just had to acknowledge it because we got like 4 in a row, and they all just popped up in the corner of my computer as I was talking, and I couldn't ignore it anymore.
Yeah, he's disappointed in the show. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
No, but regardless, I don't remember where we were, and I'm sorry about that. Maybe you do. No. I feel it was. Oh, we were talking about the cleanliness with which they dealt with being like, we're getting out of that story, we're going to ours. Yeah, and obviously you want our heroes to battle an injustice. That's a natural desire from our story and from our heroes, but it was a can of worms to open that they did not have the ability to close. And I think that it makes a really interesting case for potentially the way the multiverse could be handled in the DCU. And generally, I really enjoy so far what, I generally enjoy, sorry, he did it again. He said, bro, he really just needs some sleep. I enjoy that they are handling the multiverse. Like, I think this Peacemaker thing, him running into a reality where he also, I think that's going to be an anomaly. I think that was like a way to ease us into every door they go through is a different universe, and they are massively different. They are, and that's exciting. Like, that is the way a Multiverse of Madness obviously touches on that. They obviously get a little bit into that, but generally, the way that the multiverse has been handled in Marvel has been like, what if we meet a different version of you? What if we meet a different version of you? What if we meet a different version of you? And I think that this creates a really interesting idea where maybe there aren't, maybe those are fewer and far in between. It's not exactly like, we're going to go see this. We're going to go see me. And I'm not saying that that's an impossibility. It just doesn't seem like the main idea for what this multiverse could contain.
I think maybe the trick is because like it is infinite, and it is infinite. Whatever world you want to dream up, I feel like you could. And 100%. I think the anomaly is how Chris even found the door, like how he even showed up there, and like Eagly kind of led him there. By the way, so like I think that this is this is the explanation of the anomaly. Is the Prime Eagle led him? You know, he needed to go on this journey. Blah blah blah. But like, and Chris recognized the door. He's like, oh, that's my dad's keypad. I'm going to put in the numbers. So it's like everything fell into place so perfectly. I feel like just how he found the door is the anomaly, because then when Argus goes in, they're just blindly searching. You know, they don't know what a door is, they don't have a specific look that they're looking for. It's just kind of like, well, we want a world that's whatever. Let's just try to find that. And then you're trying to find a needle in an infinite haystack there. So I feel like if the technology to get into this pocket dimension, that's the easy part, but to actually locate the world you want, or the the perfect whatever, that's the true anomaly.
That's true. Yeah, I that's why I'm incredibly excited by it, dude. I think that the universe that they're creating here is, I mean, it's extremely compelling. And as a fan of comic books, as a fan of James Gunn's previous work, as a fan of comic book movies, it's checking all the boxes, man. Like I said, I don't think the show strictly nailed its dismount, as it were. You know, it didn't stick it in perfect tens across the board. No, but I cried. Yeah. It hit me where it needed to. It was emotional. It was emotionally fulfilling, and I thought that the ending really is building towards a new, exciting development for the universe. And frankly, if I get more than that, we're talking about a potentially perfect finale, which is like, what are the odds of that? That doesn't happen often unless it's like fucking Andor or Westworld season 1 or something like that. Yeah. It doesn't happen often, and I think that what they did manage to do here is still really admirable. And I do generally think I enjoyed season 2 more than I enjoyed season 1, which I really didn't anticipate happening.
Yeah. I'd agree. It feels like season 1 is a lot more complete when it just comes to Peacemaker as a character.
100%.
But, and I think with anything, if you're trying to set up a larger universe, like you're going to have some give and take, or there's going to be some things that go by the wayside. Absolutely. And I think with managing that, like, I can't be too mad with the Peacemaker story I saw. It might have been pretty surface level, and him just, like him asking Hardcore, did the boat mean anything? Like, so, like 15 times. Like, I appreciate that they emphasize. I actually do really appreciate that they emphasize that, because it does mean that much to him. And I appreciate that once he gets the answer, he's like, well, fuck yeah. That's like, it's that simple. It's not, it's not like that's all he wanted to hear. And if she had said no, it's the fact that she dodged the question every time, which is, they were building towards a
a potential "I love you, I know" moment a little bit between them, where he wants her to realize and accept the way she feels more than confirm the way he knows she feels. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants her to take it on, to own it and be like, yes, I care about you. Because the moment she does that, it's easier. It's a foot in the fucking door. You know, I'm here. I know you're there. Let's fucking do this, you know? And so I do appreciate that, like, his drive is just so human, you know, which again, I think goes back to the fact that Rick Flag, puts in the first thing he puts in the meta-human prison is a normal fucking guy. You know, and I think the fact that his emotions and his journey and his trials were also obviously very, very sci-fi, but they all came from a very human place. His desire for love, his desire to not be a fuck up, his desire to be good. And then the second he realizes his friends make him realize you are good, you just got to be you, it all clicks for him. And that's why, like, when it comes to the character himself, his journey did finish itself. Like, it did seal itself, which is why I'm like, the opening of where we go from here, this isn't something we pick up in Peacemaker Season 3. Peacemaker Season 3, if it happens, takes place after he's saved from Planet Salvation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's he's like John Cena's in the next Superman movie type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, and that's fun. And I love those sorts of possibilities for the universe. Just being like, obviously Superman's not trying to go to Planet Salvation to save Peacemaker. It's a larger thing, but in doing so, he's going to save Peacemaker, and we're going to see John Cena in the next Superman movie as an actual character, not just as a little guy who pops up and is like, they're jealous of my muscles, you know, like that. That was funny and all, but I look forward to it. Because
I thought that, like, it could be possible to save Peacemaker without needing Superman. Right now that they kind of have an in on the inside, you know, they're well, actually no, they're checkmate now. They don't have anything on the inside, so a little bit harder, but I think, like, maybe this just ramps up very, very fast. Like, maybe it is not just Peacemaker in there. Like, they start just throwing anyone and everyone in, and then it's like impossible for Superman to ignore if he's not sent there himself. Like, I think without the world, like, it would be the best example to send him first. You know, if you can take down Superman, you know, then who else is gonna possibly, you know, stick up to them?
That's what's so interesting, is that the conclusion of the first Superman movie is Superman good. We love Superman.
So you think, the people would be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why?
Exactly. Like, if that was going to happen, it would have already happened. Trent still hitting us up. He just asked if we were there. Would you mind texting him? Because I can't with my phone right now. Let him know that we are on a podcast and we are enjoying his live commentary.
Yes,
and I want to keep seeing it. I want him to keep texting us. I just can't reply right now because it'll fuck up the phone call. When it came to the end of Superman, it was in a place where, we should have known. Superman was the good guy. You know, like, all along, Lex Luthor was lying to us, and that's that. So, when it comes to public opinion, they don't need to lock up Superman first.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be a shadow thing. They're gonna. It's not going to be something people know about. It's a black bag. It's a black bagging and putting away of which, again, is very, very hand on the pulse, interesting choice right now. And I'm really, really compelled by it.
Yeah. A human trafficking under the table, you know, no one knows about it.
Kidnapping people under the guise of, you know, civil liberties, you know?
No, that couldn't be our world.
That's so sci-fi.
But being in the basement of the Pentagon is that their way of just saying this is very Black Ops, or is that their way of saying that like this hasn't even come close to reaching the like federal level? Like this is still I don't know how to
I'd be willing to bet the only people who know about this are Rick Flag and the guy that approved it. You know, like
the real danger is the compartmentalization, the fact that it can just be this small ass group instead of
and that that Lex Luthor owns them essentially. You know,
totally.
Like
he's calling every shot. Yeah, like
every shot is Lex Luthor's, and that's why like now that is an underrated aspect of this. You know, the fact that Lex Luthor is the big bad. You know, like. Even in Peacemaker season 2, I know that you know it's Rick Flag Sr. who has to lock him away, and they have to face all these different trials. But there's never really an antagonist this season, which is really interesting. It is more a internal conflict that they struggle with, and then the second they go to Nazi world, the guy who could have been the antagonist is dealt with immediately, and it's like, well, fuck that, he's dead. Keith is going to come back around. He will be a problem.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah.
Not at all.
That's good. And I wonder, you know, how he gets through, how he finds their world, you know, if it's kind of like he stumbles upon it kind of like Chris. I feel like Eagly is actually the key to something. I don't know. Like
no, I'm with you. I get what you mean.
I don't know how. I don't know why. I mean, he is the Prime Eagle. I don't know what that means in reality, you know, but like him leading Chris to the door, I don't think is a coincidence. Him leading him to his father's helmet sort of thing. I think Eagly is kind of, whether it is a character thing or like whatever, I think it's just James Gunn's way of the Force a little bit, of him just being like, all right, I'm going to impose some mystical writer's room shit on you, and it's through an eagle. But I don't know. I would love if our group, you know, Argus is trying to do the science or what, you know, by the numbers with the you know, guy they have that used to work for Lex, and then like our group is actually just like, let's just follow Eagly, you know, like it seems like he has a really good read in this room or whatever, and like just kind of nature versus I don't know, the science part I think could be cool.
The trial and error of it all, it could be.
But yeah, I guess I'm all of this to kind of say is that like I'm in the zone of where I used to be in MCU world, where I am thinking of what's coming next, and like I want the next thing very, very badly, and in a very, very good way. And it's not overpopulated. It's not, and we're jumping around like to Clayface, to Waller, to Superman. Like, yeah, it's like a perfect meld. And
right now it feels like and this is, it might be naive to say this about a Warner Brothers owned entity like DC and everything, but it does feel like they're putting the artist over the corporatization thing of things right now. Like they want to, like when it comes to Marvel, even in their push the last few years to make more unique stuff, to make WandaVision, to make Loki, to make, you know, the Marvels and Wakanda Forever. Like, Wakanda Forever might be the only thing in the MCU since Endgame, and I'm just going off the cuff here, that feels like it came from a genuine place a creative wanted to make. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of had
like,
to. They were forced.
And it did.
It
absolutely it absolutely did. And it's devastating that it kind of takes something like that for something to feel authentic and not like, well, we're trying to promote the next thing. They managed to create something that felt so complete on its own while still pushing the universe forward here in a really natural way, where and maybe that's just me glazing gun. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm blind to it, and maybe eventually I'll be like, man, all along it was just the MCU rehashed. I don't know. I doubt it will. I doubt I'll feel that way, but I certainly don't right now. And I'm really, really digging where we're at. And obviously only a couple things deep, it's easy to feel that way, but I don't know. Everything that's on the horizon right now, Supergirl, the Lanterns, Waller, Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow. Like that's a let's fucking go. That's I'm in. I'm just in.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I mean, this dude had hands in the Scooby-Doo movie, so I mean, we already know that he's literally kind of peak filmmaker. So, but I mean,
speaking of Geek with Me, a little bit of an MCU related news. Matthew Lillard confirmed to be in Daredevil Born Again season 2.
What?
He's going to be a political opponent of the Kingpin. So let's fucking ride.
Oh fuck. Oh man,
they showed a trailer at Comic-Con this weekend, NYC Comic-Con. The song that they put over it was Lithonia by Childish Gambino, which is fucking sick.
Oh.
And it was like, I feel liberated.
Oh.
And he's like beating ass, and it's like over medicated.
Oh my god, the edit.
And it like it goes fucking nuts, dude. Like I've only seen like a clip that someone illegally took in the Comic-Con, like I can't wait to actually see it. It looks fucking awesome. I loved season 1. Can't wait for season 2. We covered season 1 a few months back whenever it came out, but yeah, neither here nor there. Just wanted to drop that in.
Damn.
But
wow. But yeah, it was to go on of James Gunn. Like, it's not just that I think we have these few things to go off of. Like, we have Guardians to go off of. We have the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
We have his track record in the comic book world, the holiday special, things like
the holiday fucking special, dude.
Yeah, like I mean, it's things like that are just like he has not missed in the comic book world, and I mean, it's I don't think that it's like over glazing. It's just that I mean. He's earned that trust. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he has as well. And I don't know, man. It's been a really long time since I felt this excited about the comic book realm as far as on screen is concerned. In DC, as far like we talked about this a couple months ago, the 20s have been dominated by DC, even though Marvel has put out like far more shit. When it comes to my favorite comic book movies of the 20s, Birds of Prey, The Batman.
Yeah, come on.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, Superman, Peacemakers, like those have been the Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Those have been the highlights of the 20s so far, and we are now over halfway through the 20s. Like it's weird to think about, but like it has been DC's decade, and they've only just rebranded this year, or restarted this year. So it's an exciting place to be, and I look forward to. They've also had the ultimate low for me, which is the Flash, but we'll forget about that.
Yeah,
that
we don't talk about it.
That was the conclusion of the old guard. This is the opening of the new guard.
We forget.
Also had Blue Beetle, which rules.
Mm-hmm. The AI sins that freaking were committed in that movie. Yeah, that's in. And thank God that was not James Gunn's. Just if he decided to do something like that, then I'll eat my words and no longer glaze the man. But I don't think that's not coming from him. If it happens in his universe, I feel like that is a Warner Brothers thing there.
Yeah,
but I hope we never have to go into that realm.
I think after the success of Superman, I read on the air that Zaslav, letter he wrote basically after opening weekend that was like, we look forward to the next 10 years of making stuff with James Gunn because of the success of Superman. Like that came out to rave reviews, it came out to commercial success, and it was like, okay, this is something we are going to be able to do. And that's so encouraging that they are seemingly right now going, you've got this, and, may that change? It could, but we'll see. I'm trusting it. I'm trusting the process right now, and I'm digging it. I'm digging every second. But, Peacemaker as a show so far has been incredible. Definitely doesn't seem like that's the place you end the show. I have faith that we will get a Peacemaker season 3 eventually. Just a matter of whether or not that takes place after the next Superman movie. Yeah. Apparently Daredevil Born Again, like going back to the Marvel side of things, Daredevil's creative team is in contact with the Spider-Man 4 creative team. They're trying to make sure there's a synergy there. So I think not only is the DCU propelling itself, I think it will propel the distinguished competition across the street. and motivate them to be better. You know, I think it will motivate the MCU and that studio at large to go, we need to get our fucking shit together because they're going to kick our fucking asses if we don't lock in, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, if I was in the MCU, like in the MCU's producer room or whatever, I'd be shitting my pants. I mean, this is like, I mean, not that if DC's just doing so well, it automatically means the fall of Marvel, but I don't know. I think like it does, at least as a fan right now, me.
That's what it meant in the 10s for DC.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, Thunderbolts was good. Like they're on the rise again.
They're on a roll. They're on a roll.
Really give a shit as to what comes next. I don't even know what's coming next. And
I think the next movie is Spider-Man 4, which is wild.
Okay, wow, yeah. So,
but I think there's a show at the end of the year. I think Wonder Man is the next show.
Oh,
which is Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who was in Aquaman, which was, as of yet and probably permanently, the highest grossing DC movie ever.
Wow, that's wild to think about. Yeah, just how money works. I don't know, or just to track stuff by money. Always go out. He's hit a critical moment in The Shining. So I mean, yeah, he's I mean, Trenton is going. I don't know. It's very hard.
Wendy just saw the dude in the Winnie the Pooh mask blowing another guy. I know it's not Winnie the Pooh, but it looks like Winnie the Pooh.
It's the best part of the movie. It's the best part of the movie. The furry blowjob that's given for the point or 3 seconds.
Eyes wide shut ass shit. Screen. It's a little bit of a foreshadowing for Kubrick's later career.
Oh man, yeah. The weird Peacemaker and Shining duo here, or dynamic that's going on is kind of nuts. It's just spooky season. Nothing spooky about Peacemaker at all. You know, we're in October, but just nothing. No play on the I get it would be the finale.
Didn't need it. Yeah, but Foxy Shazam showing up though was very, very cool. I loved seeing them perform the theme song.
Yeah.
I have fallen in love with that band since the show premiered because I was like, that song fucking goes. Let's check it out. The self-titled Foxy Shazam album, which is called Foxy Shazam. Awesome. Front to back, incredible album.
Okay.
Strongly recommend it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, but
I didn't know that they were. I figured, I don't know, because I read somewhere
that song came out in like 2012. This is not like a new song. Yeah, like this is James Gunn was just like, I really fuck with this band. Let me put them on right quick. You know, like
damn, that's just kind of hard. Yeah, he's just. I mean, he obviously puts what he loves in his movies, and it's like it's clear that he makes them, and that is.
And there's this sweet little like moment at knowing that, and when he said that, I'm pretty sure he was like, "Me and my wife really love Foxy Shazam," and it was actually her who was like, "Why is this band not bigger? Why is this band not a bigger deal?" And that moment at the end whenever she's dancing with Chris to the song and she's singing along and stuff, there's like a behind the scenes element to her. It's like, oh, like James Gunn's filming his wife singing a song that they love in a show that he's making. And I'm eating it up, you know, like I'm gobbling that shit whole.
That's why the human element is there, is because just little stuff like that even seeps its way
beautiful.
In. And like,
it's lovely.
It's all very human driven, but yeah,
it is.
The finale could have been more of a finale, but man, I couldn't be. I don't know.
I'm super excited and I'm happy with where we're at.
Oh yeah.
So. I'm with you. But I think with that, we may be able to conclude this episode of Geek with Me. Leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening. We've got a lot coming up. We are going to be doing a Frankenstein's monster thing here pretty soon with comic book characters ahead of Halloween. We're going to do like a draft format where we each get 10 elements to build our ideal comic book character out of existing parts of comic book characters. It can be personality based, costume based, power based, anything. Entirely up for interpretation. Draft format. Super exciting, super fun. Can't wait for that. Frankenstein's monster ahead of Halloween. Looking forward to that. And then Alphabet Soup is officially kind of it's taking form. We have ideas. That's probably not going to end up starting until December, where we are going to be doing like a sort of 12 days of Geek Miss sort of thing. I'm very, very excited for that. A lot of stuff coming in December. As far as November's concerned, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want to do. We'll see about it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. James Gunn style.
We've got a lot going on. Yeah, we've got a lot going on. So that's the other thing, is that we also do have a movie podcast called The Cinementalists, where right now we are doing a Spooktober edition of Cinema Surprise. This Friday will bring us Bram Stoker's Dracula. And I'm very, very excited for that. I love that movie. Joe loves that movie. It's a lot of fun. And next Friday, we're covering another movie, which I will announce this Friday on The Cinementalists. That's Cinementalists. October has been full of some fun horror movies for us. We've got an Eraserhead, Invasion of the Body Snatchers under the belt, Bram Stoker's Dracula this Friday, and a certified classic next Friday, I'll tell you that. And then on Halloween itself, we'll be covering a brand spanking new one that has taken the world by storm. So check that out on The Cinementalist. When you get the chance. We are also doing Twin Peaks Fire Pod with me. That's a Twin Peaks podcast friendly to the first time viewer and the rewatcher alike. I'm rewatching it. Joseph is watching it for the first time. If you've never seen the show, you just have to watch it. There's literally no better time. It is as fall a show as a show can be. If you're looking for something seasonal, it's about to chill down. The leaves are about to change.
Yep.
Settle in with a nice cup of black coffee. Black as midnight on a moonless night, as Agent Cooper would say. You sit down, you watch some goddamn Twin Peaks, and if you happen to like what you see and you happen to go, you know what would be nice? A little podcast to go along with it. You should check it out. As I said, Joseph has never seen it, so we don't spoil anything beyond what we are talking about in a given episode. We will spoil stuff that has come before, but nothing that will ever come after, because Joseph has no idea what comes after. So we're in the midst of the return right now. We're in between parts 2 and 3. Next week is 3. Earlier this week was 2. And it's just so good. And we're doing that all the way through next February. So you got to check it out. You got to catch up. Let's see. I think that is that. Do you have any other thoughts? Any other, concerns, questions, comments?
No. Crazy. Not too many theories to really spin, here.
Not anymore. We did plenty there.
But, yeah, not a, I'm just I don't know. I'm very, very satisfied, with where the DCU is. So, but yeah, I'm good there. I'm all good.
All right.
Over here.
All right. If you want to get in contact with me to maybe discuss Peacemaker or discuss anything we might have coming up, TikTok's a decent place to do it. Colton Robertson, look it up. I'm there. Comment on the videos, or I try to post something once a week that's like this week on the podcast. Goes through everything we have on our shows. It's a nice place to keep updated. Because like when it comes to Blue Sky, it's basically just like, and here's this episode we just released, and that's kind of that.
Yes.
I'm more than welcome. You're more than welcome to hit me up over there. It's just that when it comes to keeping up to date with what we're going to be doing on the podcast, listener interaction, that mostly happens on TikTok. So you got to check that out. Colton Robertson, my name at the beginning. But yeah, I think with that, we will conclude this episode of Geek with Me. I was Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, eat peace, motherfuckers.